8 Unusual Facts You Didn't Know About Cleopatra. While Queen of Egypt, 51 to 30 BC, Cleopatra actively influenced Roman politics at a crucial period and was especially known for her relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. She came to represent, as did no other woman of antiquity, the prototype of the romantic femme. Here 8 unusual facts about Queen Cleopatra. 1. Cleopatra had a stylist. Cleopatra's unforgettable iconic black kohl eyeliner was actually created by her personal stylist, Eras. A golden rod had been used to trace the long black kohl line right from the eyes to the temples, exaggerating her eyes by completely surrounding them with blackness. Eras was said to be the best makeup artist in the Egyptian court and went on to become the queen's greatest confidant. She stuck by Cleopatra's side at the famous Battle of Actium, and it was ultimately in Eras's arms that she passed away in 30 BC. 2. She might have miscarried a child. A few ancient sources have claimed that Cleopatra was actually pregnant when she left Rome soon after the execution of her ally and lover Caesar. The conditions of her journey home were so incredibly perilous that the stress might have caused her to miscarry her deceased lover's child. If these rumors were true, then one can only sympathize with this woman. 3. Her father absolutely loved music. Cleopatra's father, Ptolemy Z, was quite a terrible ruler, leading Egypt through unbelievable political confusion as well as economic upheaval. In no small part only because he enjoyed the lure of music more than he did actually ruling his country. Ptolemy Z was also called Dalliates or Flautist just because he considered himself a new Dionysus. He frequently sang and played during public celebrations, especially those celebrating Dionysus, his hero. Despite all his faults as a leader, Cleopatra was still a daddy's girl and earned the nickname Cleopatra Philpater, or she who simply loves her father, as she stayed loyally by his side even until his demise. 4. Her mother might have been Greek. There is very little known about Cleopatra's mother, as we don't know her name, where she came from, or almost anything about her appearance. However, one historical theory posits that she could have belonged to the Greek people, which would make Cleopatra Greco-Macedonian. 5. She wasn't actually first in line. Cleopatra's elder sister, Berenice, had originally been destined to be the queen but passed away before she could take the throne. From the moment of her sister's demise, Cleopatra went on to become first in line and even received an incredible education. She also traveled her country frequently just so she could become acquainted with the country she'd one day call her own. Cleopatra was just 18 when her father passed away in 51 BC. On her journey around Egypt that followed to introduce the people to their new ruler, Cleopatra was instantly popular because of her fluent Egyptian, which she spoke without needing an interpreter. This was rather rare among Ptolemaic rulers. 6. Her voice is what captured Caesar's heart. Upon their first meeting, as Cleopatra and Caesar spoke in Greek, it was explained that the true elixir that seduced and ensnared Caesar was just her voice. Indeed, as the Roman writer Cassius Dio had written at the time, no sooner had Caesar seen her and heard her speak than he was immediately fascinated. 7. She even took a romantic honeymoon with Caesar. Once the pair had finally become Egypt's absolute rulers, Caesar and Cleopatra decided to take a romantic honeymoon to celebrate their happy union, which was a cruise down the Nile. It was said that this was certainly quite a unique event in the history of the Mediterranean. It's like something that came straight out of a novel, and yet it really happened. Anybody who has been to Egypt knows exactly what a sunset over the pyramids or on the Nile feels like. 8. She was quite a bookworm. Various sources have stated that Cleopatra truly adores Homer and can easily recite large sections of his work by heart. Every corner of the library is very familiar to Cleopatra. Scholars and librarians would also know her well and perhaps at times might have even forgotten that what they have before them is the queen. According to the testimonies of certain Arabic sources, Cleopatra was even a scholar who wrote as well as read. They claim that she had written books on cosmetics, medicine, pharmaceuticals, and toxicology. But unfortunately, no evidence of any such work exists.